Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with another Meghan and Harry video. And this is going to be just a short video regarding the way in which Meghan is still trying to get the love of the British public, and she's trying to backtrack on all of her wrongdoing by emulating the late Princess Diana. According to a journalist and author, Meghan Markle is attempting to fulfill Diana's legacy, and she has claimed that the documentaries that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are currently working on mimic what Diana actually had in mind. I found this article by The Express, and it is titled "Princess Diana was planning similar documentary project to Meghan Markle, a friend says." Princess Diana was planning a TV project similar to what Meghan Markle wants to do, according to a friend. The journalist and author claimed Diana, who died in a car crash in Paris in 1997, was planning on doing documentary films to highlight her humanitarian work. Miss Brown said it was sort of like what Meghan, who recently signed a Netflix deal with Prince Harry, wants to do. Allegedly, Diana was trying to trade in on her royal connections in a celebrity kind of way and become a global superstar by not only exposing the intricacies of what it is to be in the royal firm, which we know that she was on the verge of doing, but also giving people a close-up bird's eye view into her private life. And Meghan Markle seems to be imitating this. I do definitely believe that there have been a lot of elements whereby Meghan and Harry felt as though they would be welcomed by the British public and that they would get the sympathy that they required in order to cash in on what it is to be a member of the royal firm, and it just didn't work the way they had planned. And therefore, they decided to go straight to Hollywood and attempt to win over the people's hearts in America, which doesn't seem to be working because we have the internet now, and everything that you have ever done online is readily accessible, and everything you've ever done in the public eye, if you are a public figure like Harry and of course Meghan, by default being his wife, is accessible online. So they've not been able to completely wipe the slate clean as they had hoped in order to get that celebrity-like status in the United States of America, which they're desperately battling for. We know that they have hired 2 new PR staff members and added them to their team. So the article continues to say, Diana's friend said, when I had lunch with her, she was talking about doing documentary films, sort of like what Meghan wants to do. Diana was the founder of this whole idea of leveraging celebrity for philanthropic causes. She would have been a major force in the refugee crisis in the 2000s. I can imagine her at the Calais jungle. And of course, that was a big controversy and it was a major crisis. And I think that Diana would have done a good job at highlighting the issues that the people were going through. And it was unfortunate, I guess, that we didn't get to witness her do that. So I think that Meghan and Harry desperately are trying to, as I said, replicate what Diana had intended to do with her status, with her global platform. But the difference between Diana, Princess Diana, and Meghan and Harry is that she had likability and she was good at it. Even if she was indulged, even if she was a spoilt, entitled royal, she didn't let that come across. She was very good at separating her royal privileges from her public persona. A lot of people have accused Princess Diana of being a manipulator. They've accused her of being narcissistic. They've accused her of being self-centered and self-involved. There have also been accusations of her allegedly calling the paparazzi on herself and calling photographers on herself and giving them the heads up as to where and when and who she was going to be with. I don't know if that's true. When I was growing up, Diana was pretty much loved. She was the queen of people's hearts, and that's exactly what she wanted to be remembered as. And the public is still very much divided over how she should be remembered, but I think more people actually remember her with a fondness, and she was high on charisma and likability. Meghan and Harry don't have any of that. They have no likability. They're not very charismatic. They don't know how to play the game. They don't know how to befriend the media. They have used their status as a weapon against the media, and it's all gone horribly wrong. If you want to get likability from the public, then you have to play ball with the press, and you have to kind of play it to your advantage and not moan about it. So the article continues on to say, no one has been able to replicate that to the extent that Diana did, which is true. No other royals have had that impact. I think William and Kate are probably closer to it than Meghan and Harry will ever be. So it carries on as well to say, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who have quit royal duties for a new life in the United States, signed a multi-million-pound deal with Netflix to make shows for the streaming service earlier this year. In a statement released in September, Meghan and Harry said, our lives, both independent of each other and as a couple, have allowed us to understand the power of the human spirit, of courage, resilience, and the need for connection. Through our work with diverse communities and their environments, to shining a light on people and causes around the world, our focus will be on creating content that informs but also gives hope. And this is the thing, people do not Google Meghan and Harry for the latest information. They do not use them as a reference point like a Wikipedia page. So that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. People want the lowdown, people want the dirt, people want to know why she has a fractured relationship with her father, why she doesn't talk to her sister or her brother, why she has done all the things leading up to this moment where she broke away from the royal firm, along with Harry. People want to know what was the driving factors, because I think when they actually address those reasons as to why, which we know there aren't really any real reasons as to why they've done that, they can kind of undo the damage that they have done. I don't think they will ever address those questions. I don't think they will ever address the public's curiosity and fury at what it is they have done, and therefore they will never ever have likability. And I don't think they'll ever be able to command the amount of money that they could have commanded if they did have that likability. I can't see people tuning in to Meghan and Harry's Netflix programs or their Netflix documentary unless they are degrading themselves in some kind of shape or form, or explaining themselves in some kind of shape or form. It's one of the two. They can't really move on to this next chapter without fully concluding the previous one. So the article continues to say, as new parents, making inspirational family programming is also important to us, as is powerful storytelling through a truthful and relatable lens. How can they really project through a relatable lens when they are pretty much unrelatable? They step down from their senior royal duties within the space of 16 months. They've had a child with extreme lavish wealth. We know that Meghan more than likely had a surrogate, so she can't really talk about childbirth or anything like that. And they're not raising their son in a normal way. He's completely isolated from his own family, and they have been moving from pillar to post, and they do not have the challenges and the financial restrictions and burdens that normal parents have. So how can they have a relatable lens? Doesn't make any sense really. So it's a pointless statement, in my humble opinion. So the article continues to say, the Sussexes added that they were pleased to be working with Ted Sarandos, Co-Chief Executive Officer and Chief Content Officer of Netflix, and his team, whose unprecedented reach will help us share impactful content that unlocks action. Mr. Sarandos said, we're incredibly proud they have chosen Netflix as their creative home and are excited about telling stories with them that can help build resilience and increase understanding, which is a very ambiguous, discombobulated sentence. I don't get it. What exactly did he just say? He said about telling stories with them that can help build resilience. Resilience to what? Resilience to what? Meghan and Harry have no resilience. They couldn't even stand to be criticised as public figures, which every public figure goes through. They actually left 2 countries, not just one, Canada and the UK, because they couldn't stand being scrutinised by the public. So they're not very resilient, strong people. And then he said, and increase understanding for audiences everywhere. What kind of understanding? Maybe he's talking about their work regarding those who are disabled. So that kind of makes a tad bit of sense, but it was very unclear. It wasn't outlined in a direct way. So we're going to see what they do on the Netflix. We know they are singing for their supper, and I think that it's going to be a big flop in the end. I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.